Hey Rams fans, how y'all doing? I'm Brandon. Welcome to my channel, all about the Rams. Coming off a great win Sunday against the Bucks. Got another one coming up this Sunday against the undefeated Cardinals also. So we need to knock off another undefeated team. Be number one in the division if we win this game. So it's a very important game coming up. Still a lot of people kind of doubt us. It's who cares about the critics and all the people on the talking head shows or whatever, they really don't know anything, but they're paid to cause controversy and all that stuff, but we know what's going on. We know the Rams are going to dominate this week. We got the Cardinals. Sean McVay is 8-0 against the Cardinals. Kyler Murray has never beaten the Rams. So, should be a pretty easy game. I think, like I said, if I'm talking about easy games, I always go back to last year against the Jets. We lost against the winless Jets, so it's never easy. It is the NFL, but this is a different team. They have a different attitude, different quarterback, different everything. So, this should be a pretty easy game. I think we should dominate this game. If we beat the Bucks by 10 points, I think we'll beat the Cardinals by at least 17 points. But like I said, I don't want to be too cocky or confident going into this game, but I think we should dominate. There is a lot of injury news coming into this game on the good side and the bad side. I'm going to get into it, but just want to do a quick overview of everything that went on this last week. Of course, you know that. Like I said, massive win for the Rams. They are basically the number one team in the NFL right now. Everybody has acknowledged that. All the power rankings have us as number one, but we need to keep it going. It's only been 3 weeks, but we're looking great so far. Before I get into more, if you would please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And I'm going to get into the Cardinals rosters a little bit, any injuries, stuff like that. And then we're going to talk about the Rams roster. I'm not going to go down the roster. I mean, we already know the roster, but there's a few things injury-wise that we need to talk about if you haven't heard or been following. So, yeah, I'm going to get into that. I actually kind of want to look at the Cardinals stats real quick and see how they're looking. It is week 3, so they're starting to get, we're starting to pile up more stats and stuff like that. So, first couple of weeks, it's okay, but I just want to kind of get into what everybody's looking like and all that. Some people are talking about Kyler Murray as an MVP candidate. I don't see it. I mean, they are 3-0. That's good, but the Cardinals usually do start off kind of hot, and then they fall off at the end. So Kyler Murray actually has 4 interceptions already in 3 games. That's not good at all. I don't know why people are considering him for MVP. It's just like I said, just 3 weeks into the season. By the end of the year, he won't even be mentioned anymore. He's already been sacked 5 times. I think Aaron Donald will get a couple sacks in this game. He always has a good game against the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. But Kyler Murray is having a good year as far as percentage-wise. His completion percentage is 76.5%. So he's doing very good in that instance. Pretty sure it's a lot of, dink and dunk, short passes, stuff like that. So, but yeah, he's got over 1,000 yards in 3 games. So that's over 300 yards a game. That's pretty good. So as far as that goes, it's pretty good. But he does turn the ball over a lot. Like I said, 4 interceptions to 7 touchdowns. That's not excellent. That's not great. So, I mean, we'll see. Rams should be able to get some turnovers against them. Chase Edmonds is our leading rusher, and then James Conner behind him. I mean, they're decent. Like I said, Chase Edmonds has 135 yards and actually 0 touchdowns already. His average is 4.4. James Conner actually has the 2 touchdowns, but his average is 3.5, so it's not that great. Kyler Murray has 17 rushes for 70 yards. He doesn't have any touchdowns. So, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. He actually has 3 touchdowns. So, he is dangerous, as we know, on the ground and in the air. So, he definitely is a problem. But it seems like the Rams usually they have a way to bottle him up, and they usually play very good against him. They shut him down. Like I said, Kyler Murray hasn't beaten the Rams in 4 tries. Sean McVay is 8-0 against the Cardinals, so it's looking good for us, Christian Kirk is actually their best receiver as far as stat-wise goes. He's got 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rondale Moore, he seems like he's their deep threat, I guess. He has a long of 77 yards. It's pretty good. A.J. Green, Hopkins, their numbers are actually decent, not great. 10 catches, 13 catches. So it seems like A.J. Green and Hopkins have having okay years, but not great. But it seems like Christian Kirk has been their lead receiver so far. So I guess we're gonna have to watch out for him. Their leading receiver is actually their running back, Chase Edmonds, out of the backfield. He has 16 catches for 121 yards, no touchdowns. So I mean, they do get a lot of guys involved, kind of like we do. So the running back is definitely somebody we need to watch out of the backfield. Chandler Jones is their lead guy on defense. He had 5 sacks the first week of the year, but after that, he hasn't had any sacks. So hopefully our offensive line will hold up and keep that going for another week, and they'll hold them to 0 sacks. They got a few guys with 1 sack. Marcus Golden has 2 sacks, so I'm not gonna go through everybody, but I think that's about it for now over the stats. I'm going to take a look at their depth chart. I've already talked about it, but Murray, Edmonds, Hopkins, Green, Kirk, I mean, they are pretty dangerous on offense. So our defense does need to step up this game, but I'm very confident in our defense. We shut down, well, not shut down, but we did a great job against Brady and the Bucs. So I think we'll definitely be okay. I know Rodney Hudson is a very good lineman. He's a center. He's from Florida State. I'm a Florida State fan, so I like him. For as mobile as Kyler Murray is, he's already been sacked 5 times. So I guess that doesn't really look good on their offensive line. Maybe that's because he holds the ball too long, or he just runs around too much and gets sacked. But for guys mobile as he is, to be sacked 5 times already in 3 games is kind of alarming, I guess. So maybe that is on the offensive line, or could be on him. I'm not for sure. But I do like Rodney Hudson. They do have their right tackle and left guard is questionable, so I'm not sure if they'll play. Defense, J.J. Watt is like not their main guy, but Chandler Jones is their, sorry about that. Chandler Jones is their main guy. J.J. Watt, of course, came over from the Texans. They have Jordan Hicks, Marcus Golden, Byron Murphy. Buda Baker's very good in the secondary. They have some guys on RIR, but I don't think any of them were like game changers or anything. I don't know too much about the Cardinals roster, but besides that, it doesn't look like there's anybody on their team that's really a very important player that's out. It seemed like they're kind of healthy, so like I said, it should be a good game. The Cardinals are a dangerous team. They have 3 good receivers. They're running back out of the backfield is their leading receiver, as I said before. So we're gonna have their defense is gonna have a lot to look out for, a lot to contain. But I'm very confident in their defense. We should be there. They were number 1 defense last year. They're doing good so far this year. As time goes on, I think they're gonna get way more comfortable in Raheem Morris's schemes, his style, and everything. So I think they're just gonna get better as the season goes on. So this is good. This is a game that's gonna test them, though. Like I said, with a very mobile quarterback, a lot of good receivers, running back that's very versatile. So I'm going to get into the Rams injuries mainly. We already know their roster, but I'm just going to talk about the Rams injuries and players coming back and all that. Before I get into the injury news real quick, before I forget, just want to mention a couple things that came out this week. Cooper Kupp was named Offensive Player of the Month. That's awesome. And then Matt Stafford, for the second time in 3 weeks, was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week too. So our offense is cooking. We're looking great. So should be more great things to come. The biggest injury news that came out was Justin Hollins had a torn pec. He had surgery. They did put him on IR. He is scheduled to return eventually. Sean McVay did say he'll probably be out like 8 to 10 weeks. So, I mean, if you're on IR, you're automatically out 8 weeks. So he's going to be out for a while. They really did hurt. Justin Hollins was coming into his own. He was doing a really good job on the other side of Leonard Floyd. But I think we have a couple guys to fill in. I really think Terrell Lewis can do a really good job. His thing is he just got to stay healthy. We got a couple guys that are kind of injury prone. Also, the other guy I was going to talk about was Obo, which he's coming off the COVID list. So he should be active. I think Sean McVay said he should play this week. No, excuse me. He's coming off a shoulder injury. That was another player that was coming off. Obo Okoronkwo is another guy. He's coming off injury reserve. He's another guy that he's never healthy. He's always hurt. He's always injured. He's another guy coming off injured reserve. He should be playing this week. Him and Terrell Lewis will probably be rotating. There are a few other guys they can throw in there. McVay mentioned Troy Reader can go in there. I don't remember if Justin Lawler is healthy. I think he had a broken hand. I'll have to look into it. I was actually trying to look up Justin Lawler. I don't even see him on the depth chart, and I was trying to find his injury, but I do remember he had a broken hand, I believe. But I don't even see him on here as on the depth chart or in the injury report. I think I need to do some research on where Justin Lawler is. But as I said, Terrell Lewis is really going to need to step up. He had the most snaps ever that he's had in the game for the Rams this past week. I think he had like 30-something snaps. So he's a guy that really needs to step up and try to stay injury free, because if he plays, he can lock down that other linebacker spot. He's a very talented guy from Alabama. He's like 6'3", 250 pounds. He's like the prototype big linebacker. He's like Leonard Floyd body type. That guy is ripped, cut. He's just a big guy. If he can stay healthy and really solidify the other side, he can be a starter, and we can just plug him in, and he can take over for Justin Hollins for the time being. McVay did say Darrell Henderson will play this week. He said he might be limited. He might be on a snap count or whatever, but he said he will play in his press conference today. He was like, he will play this week. So Darrell Henderson, pencil him in. He'll be in there, but expect to see a lot of Sony Michel too. Expect probably to see more Sony than Henderson just to be safe, but he will be playing. Ankrum is coming back from IR, they said. So I don't know if he'll be active or not, because we already have 4 other guys that are backup linemen that are already in the game. So, but we already know Stafford, second-time player of the week, NFC, Cooper Kupp, player of the month. That's freaking awesome. But offensive line has been healthy and very good. Offensive line has been excellent, great. Deshaun Jackson had a breakout game this last game, which I did kind of say he would, because McVay was talking about him. He needed to get him more involved, so they were looking to Deshaun Jackson more. He was actually targeted like 6 times, but only caught 3, because one was underthrown, and another one was underthrown too, because Stafford got his arm hit. But he did get 3 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown, so he's involved now. So I'm thinking look for Robert Woods to have a big yardage game. I hope so. I love Robert Woods, but he needs to have a breakout game. He's like the only one that really hasn't had like a big breakout game yet. Deshaun Jackson's had his big catches. Cooper Kupp has. Even Van Jefferson in that first game had that long touchdown. So Robert Woods is due. And then Higbee has been getting more involved too. So look for Robert Woods to get more involved this game, I hope. But besides that, everybody's pretty healthy on the defense. Like I said, besides Hollins, he's out for a long time. We're going to have Terrell Lewis stepping in. We're going to have Obo. And then they signed Jameer Jones off the Steelers practice squad. He was actually waived, I think, so he was claimed by the Rams. He was with the Steelers last, though. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I've been hearing that they might just put him on the practice squad, since we already have plenty of depth at linebacker. We have Chris Garrett backing up, Trayvon Howard, Ernest Jones. Obo, if he comes back, that's more depth. So I think we're fine as far as that goes. It says Tutu Atwell is questionable, so I'm not sure. McVay did say that Deshaun Jackson and Cooper Kupp would be candidates to take over punting duties if he's out, so we'll see about that. Tutu hasn't really done much so far, but he's a rookie. Give him a chance. But besides that, that's about it to talk about. As I said before, my prediction is I think the Rams I think they will win pretty easily, and they also should. But never take anything light in the NFL. I said, remember the Jets. We lost to the winless Jets last year. That sucked last year. But this is a totally different team, totally different attitude. We're on the mission for the Super Bowl this year. This team, if they win this game and then we beat Seattle in Seattle, which Seattle is struggling right now, our next 3 games are like the Lions, Giants, and there was another sorry team on our schedule, Texans, and I'm going to that game. We'll talk about that at a later date. But the Rams could legit be like 6-7-0 going into the bye week. So, I think their bye week is before that, but whatever it is, the Rams could be 7-0 with this little stretch with these bad teams coming up. So, we get through the Cardinals at home, and then we take care of Seattle that Thursday night. They're looking pretty good the next 3 games after that. They got some pretty easy teams to play. So, let's hope they take care of business against the Cardinals. And then we'll see what happens from there. But let me know what y'all think about all that. Let me know your predictions. And I already said it before, but if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll talk to you on the next one. All right, bye.